Hey, welcome back to the Big Red Zone. We're very excited for today's show. Remember, new episodes come out every Thursday. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the like button on this video as well as all our other videos. You can also find us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Big Red Zone. And as always, tell a friend. This week, it's Super Bowl week. We're going to break down the upcoming Super Bowl game, make our picks for our final picks for who's going to win. We're going to also talk about prop bets, which is always a favorite of ours. NBA trade deadlines coming up, so we'll break down the big trade that happened this week and a couple of possible ones going forward. And also a little surprise from Big Red to start off the show. All that and more on this week's episode of the Big Red Zone. Welcome to the podcast. This is the Big Red Zone. I'm your host, Big Red. As always, I am joined by Danny Football.
The last episode before the Super Bowl, my man. We're here.
This is our final Super Bowl preview, Danny Football. It's gonna be I wish it was two different teams, to be honest. I wish it was two different teams, to be honest with you. You know, in how many years have we done this? How many years in the pod? 3 or 4 years in the podcast. We've had like 3 or 4 Super Bowls. I thought for sure one of them would be the Patriots, but I never saw the Patriots in a Super Bowl preview.
Evidently not. You know what? We had a good ride and got to spread the love around sometimes.
Hey, and it's ended on a positive note. You know, we got rid of that goof Matt Patricia. We got Billy O coming
We're
in.
turning it around.
We're, sounds like we're going to be active in the free agency market, the trade market. So bring it on. Bring it on. I'm excited for this offseason for the Pats for sure. Before we get going, a little surprise. As many of you may know, the Big Red Zone was a sponsor of the Polar Plunge this past year, and they gave out our shirts. So I wanted to show the shirt off. Look at that. That was Polar Plunge, and on the back it's all the sponsors. I don't know if you can see this. Big Red Zone
that,
right there. And then something for the mantle. We got a little thank you plaque here.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at that. That's going right on my wall.
Right on the wall, dude.
I got a little Big Red Zone, like the missus made it. It's like how people were making those like Spotify picture frames. The missus gave me one of those for the Big Red Zone. That's going right underneath.
There you go.
On the wall. Look at that. Isn't that cool?
Add it to the wall of fame.
That's pretty cool. So great cause. Great cause. It was cold. As they say on the t-shirt, freezing for a reason.
Hey, there we go.
So last week I know I talked about it. Before we get into it, Danny Football, I just want to get the Danny Football 2 cents here. Tom Brady retiring. What's the first thing that comes to mind with Tom Brady retired?
I'm not surprised. I think we all saw kind of how beat down he was this season. He dealt with a lot off the field as well as on the field. Am I going to say he regrets it? I don't know so much if he regrets it, but it's definitely a tough pill to swallow that he comes off of a great season 2 years ago, kind of makes an abrupt "I'm retiring" announcement. Everyone's kind of, shaking their head, wondering, why now? Like, you just came off of a year where you arguably could have been the MVP. A couple things go differently. You're in the Super Bowl again. So the decision to retire last year was definitely questionable because it seemed like he still had a lot of the tank. And then he turns right around and says, I'm not actually retiring, I'm going to run it back. And from that point on, man, it just seems like the wheels kind of fell off for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because he was playing with a little bit of doubt in his head. There's a famous quote. I couldn't tell you who actually said it, but it's if you're thinking about retiring, you're already retired. So you got to wonder if Tom went into this season knowing, he doesn't have, a lot of years left, a year left. He doesn't have much time left. I don't know. But you got to think that doubt had kind of creeped into his head. And, we saw it. It seemed like almost every game he was frustrated, whether they won or lost. He was frustrated. The Bucs definitely underperformed. whether it was coaching or the offense or the defense, it never really seemed right. I'm not going to say he had a bad season, but in terms of the Tom Brady standard, it was a subpar season for him. Losing the playoffs at home to the Cowboys, and I said it when I kind of started this take that between everything I just mentioned on the field, and then he goes through a divorce, home life kind of starts weighing on him. I can't say I'm surprised. I can't say I'm surprised he calls it quits again. I think it's definitive this time. I think last year there was a lot of, is he kind of jumping the gun? I don't think that's the case this year. Again, I think he went through enough this year that he knows he has to walk away. So I'm sure I said it last year. I'm grateful for everything he gave the Patriots franchise. It does suck. He's not retiring a Patriot. He sucks. He didn't spend his entire career here, but um, plenty of Super Bowls, plenty of great moments, and happy to see him go out go out with his head held high.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I think you're right. He's not. He's definitely not retired. I talked about it last week, but I don't. I think he's definitely not unretiring. He can't do it twice. That's a bad. That's going
Gotta
to
be
be a bad
crazy.
look. Um, I was actually surprised because I thought, after the divorce is settled, now he's kind of like, I might as well play a little longer. And
Might as well go until the wheels fall off.
I honestly thought he played pretty well, all considering. I mean, he was top 5 in passing yards in the NFL, and this season for him, it's a weird sentence. That's this season for him and the team reminded me of his last season with the Patriots. And I just figured he was going to go to a different team. That's last season the Patriots, he looked like worn down, didn't look like he was having fun, looked miserable, wanted to look like he wanted to be anywhere but New England. And then he just left and everything was fine. I thought he was going to go to Vegas and chumming up with Josh, throw balls to Devontae Adams and Darren Waller and Hunter Renfro and Josh Jacobs and have a grand old time in Las Vegas, or Miami. He had a bunch of weapons down there, but I think I think it's I think it's time for him to retire. I think he needs to, some time off. I don't think he wants to go through what he knows needs to be done to be at the play at the level he wants to play at. Like, he doesn't want to do mini camps. He doesn't want to do OTAs. He doesn't want to do preseason. He's like, I can't do this. He has to work 10 times harder at 46 years old. It's like, I'm done. I want to enjoy my kids. I want to try something new. And I think, the broadcasting thing seems to be that. I can't really see Tom as a broadcaster, but he said if he does do it, it's going to start in 2024. So it won't happen this year. Maybe he'll come back and play for another season in between. But no, I think he's done. And what a career! What a guy! What a career!
Legend,
Um,
best to ever do it.
Legend. Also, day football. I get your reaction, but I gotta say, Rex Ryan himself said I'm crazy. Like there's zero chance that this is happening. That Sean Payton to the Broncos. Another big red call. Like I feel pretty good
Love that.
about my I'm batting was it 3 for 4 right now with my coach's picks. That's I'm feeling pretty good about him.
If
Reactions to Sean Payton to the
if
Broncos?
I was gonna say if anyone out there is taking prop bets on coaching landings, you better be listening to this podcast. Thoughts on Sean Payton to the Broncos? I think it's a good move in terms of you bringing in an experienced coach, a Super Bowl winning coach. My only question mark, and it's a huge question mark, is if Russell Wilson is going to find himself again, or if they're truly handcuffed to that contract and a bad player. Can Sean Payton turn that around? I don't see why not. But again, that whole situation lies completely on Russell Wilson and how he plays.
Completely agree. I think they kind of have to see how that works out, though. I think they're like you said, they're handcuffed to that, and they got to see how it goes. But I feel like Sean Payton's the right man for that kind of job. Veteran group. I feel like he'll be a good guy for that situation. And my last one, quick point before we get to our Super Bowl breakdown. Pro Bowl was this week. when is it time to just call it and not have the Pro Bowl? I'm not saying don't Pro Bowl teams like announce the All Star teams. Like I think that's a good thing to do. But why do we have to put ourselves through this stupid event? Even
Um,
though Tyreek Hill got lit up in the flag football game, did you see that?
I did. Um,
I loved it.
mm, so I didn't watch it. I wasn't gonna bother watching it.
I
My
watched the
take,
highlights.
my take is if it's fun for the players, do it, but maybe don't even bother televising it. If you want to throw it on ESPN Plus, you can throw it on ESPN Plus. If you want to throw it on, the NFL Network, whatever. Um, but if the players don't want to play it, shut it down. If the players are like, oh, we think it's fun, we get to all hang out, whatever, we get to do the skills competition, everything. There's no point in really putting this on ESPN proper. Is just no point. No one truly wants to watch this. Um, so that's kind of where I stand. If the players want to do it, do it. Um, but I don't think this should be your prime time ESPN block of programming. But on the flip side, if the players are like, we really don't care, then just shut the whole thing down. There's really no point.
My only other thing is like it's not even the best players in the league. It's like Derek Carr was the third quarterback from the AFC and he got benched 3 weeks to go. Like we're not having the best quarterbacks in it. So like to me, it's like the Pro Bowl means nothing. It's like you might as well say like, all right, Pat Mahomes, Joey Burrow, and
It's almost like a end of
Josh
the
Allen
year.
are
It's I think
yeah
I think it really is just more of like an end of the year kind of
party.
quote party for the all the players, which I think is why they like doing it. The players, I mean.
Yeah,
But again, if that's what it's going to be, this doesn't need to be on ESPN. You can throw this on ESPN Plus, and whoever really wants to watch it can seek it out and watch it. But other than that,
yeah,
we don't have to sit here and be like, who's actually watching this? No one. But
right. But
I digress.
yeah, I'm with you. It's wasting our times now. It's a waste of time watching it. It's a waste of time with the butt. But the main event is the Super Bowl, which I can't wait for. Forgot they're going to announce the winners of the Super Bowl awards. I mean the regular season awards too. I should look that up at some point during the pod. I may audible here during our game recap because that's we'll see who's the finalists and we'll see who wins that, who we think is going to win that. But maybe during prop bets. But let's get into it. It's not technically weekend recap, but I guess it would be weekend preview.
Preview,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
weekend preview.
This is the Super Bowl preview show. Here we go.
So Eagles Chiefs, the Andy Reid Bowl. You know, he has the most wins in Eagles history, and I think this, if he wins, would be the most wins in Chiefs history. Is that right?
I
Something
don't
like
know
that.
that stat, unfortunately.
Uh, I wrote down for me, it's the most unlikable Super Bowl for me in a long time. Last year, I was like, I don't care who wins because I love both these teams. I was a big Rams guy and I was a big Bengals guy. This year, I can't stand either team. It's more players, I guess, I root for in this situation. And I mean, Jalen Hurts is my guy. This is a Jalen Hurts stand podcast, and we'll always support him. But I just can't support the Eagles. I really can't. I can't get behind the Eagles. I can't stand them. So very unlikable Super Bowl for me, and I don't really care who wins, but for the opposite reason of last year.
uh, I think my mindset is more of obviously, obviously a Jalen Hurts guy. I think when I look at both teams, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I hate the Chiefs. Um, I think that's a team that gets a lot more credit than they deserve, having won just one Super Bowl in this sort of window they have. And even that Super Bowl, they were a Jimmy Garoppolo overthrow away from losing. So I'm by no means a Chiefs fan. Are they a good team? Absolutely. The fact that they trade away Tyreek Hill and find their way back here is borderline impressive. But by no means am I going to root for them. This is a team that, like I said, I feel like they get a lot of credit for just kind of um, zombieing through uh, the AFC, get their way to the AFC Championship game, the Super Bowl, and despite the fact that they only have one, for some reason, are considered a modern day dynasty. You're not a dynasty if you're only winning one championship. The Seahawks did that; they were not a dynasty. The Broncos with Peyton Manning snuck one, not a dynasty. So, um, for that reason, I'm just not going to root for the Chiefs. I don't want them to get a second Super Bowl here and then actually put together a half decent resume. So I'll ride with Jalen Hurts. I'll ride with the Eagles, even though the Eagles stole one from the Pats a couple of years ago. But again, this is a team that I think they only have two people that were on that team. So an impressive turnaround in itself for the Eagles. So I'll ride with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I wrote down in the notes who has more pressure here going into Super Bowl. I mean, there's pressure all around. Everyone, when you get to the Super Bowl, you have to take advantage. I mean, the Bengals learned that the hard way. I mean, we talked about it. They'd be back to many Super Bowls, and they were, you know, a minute and a half away from going to their second one, and that was snatched away from them. And who knows when they'll get back there again. Um, I think that Chiefs are under the most pressure because, like you said, I feel like this team gets a free pass every year for being one of the best teams in NFL history. Pat Mahomes is looked at as one of the best. I wrote it here. People are saying Pat Mahomes is a top five quarterback of all time, which I'm kind of lost why. Like, I get the guy is really good, he's great, but what has he done beside win one Super Bowl? Which I is it an amazing feat in itself. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, very few starting quarterbacks win the Super Bowl, but he's one and one, right? One and one
Right.
for Super Bowls in Super Bowl games. Everyone knocks Brady for losing Super Bowls, so I hope they knock Patrick Mahomes for losing Super Bowls, and he's only made it to two. Well, he's made it to three now. If he goes 1-2 in Super Bowls, uh, how can you look at this guy as a top five quarterback of all time? So I think the most pressure here is Pat Mahomes and in the Chiefs, like Andy Reid. Andy Reid's like looked at as one of the best coaches of all time, which is just it's kind of crazy to me that he is. It's like I feel like that, like you said, the Chiefs are very overrated, but I think not too many people expected the Eagles to make it to this far, even as the one seed. I'm one of them. I did not pick the Eagles to make it to the Super Bowl, and I think the pressure all lies on the Chiefs, which could help the Eagles going forward.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I mean, it really is um, the quote unquote golden child team against a I don't want to call them an underdog because they were the best team in the NFC, but I think
Yeah,
I would say I don't think I would say going into the season a lot of people picked the Eagles to make it this far, so it is in a sense kind of like the prohibitive favorite versus a not a I guess a dark horse in the maybe the preseason, but um like I mentioned, this is a team that has three players on it from that last championship team. So in the grand scheme of things, um, a completely new team and a team that doesn't have a lot of Super Bowl experience.
yeah, and that's the one thing that I think will hurt the Eagles. In every Super Bowl run, every Super Bowl game, both teams go on runs, and yeah, they face some kind of adversity. And I think teams that have been there, I think that's what helped the Patriots for so long. They've been there. They were down 28-3. They're able to like say, you know what, we've been here before. Just weather the storm and get through. So it'll be interesting to see if Jalen Hurts and Eagles, who have little to none Super Bowl and playoff experience, will be able to handle that kind of pressure and adversity in big moments of these games. So uh, it is interesting because I don't like both of these teams, but I think the the pressure I think definitely lies with the Chiefs.
1,000,000%.
And it's crazy to think because I don't think like you said, I don't think that you can say that the Eagles are a underdog because they were the one seed and have one of the best records in the NFL. But I think they have to be looked at as a underdog in this game. Like, I feel like everyone's going to be choosing the Chiefs come picking playoff Super Bowl matchups. Looking at this game, I think I got to give the defensive edge to Philly. I like their defense a lot better. Um, Offensively, it's close. I think I got to go with experience, and the experience is Pat Mahomes and that Chiefs offense, but it's very close. Uh, it's going to be an interesting game because if the Chiefs defense can get stops and, consistently, I think this is going to be a high score, or I think it's going to be a close game. I have a feeling it's going to be kind of high scoring. I don't think, even though Philly's defense is good, I think like Pat Mahomes and Jalen Hurts are just going to put on a show, and it's going to be a pretty high scoring affair. Um,
Yeah, I can kind of see
so-
this becoming, in a sense, a shootout. When I think about it, maybe like a 35-28 game, something along those lines.
yeah.
Maybe not a crazy game, but definitely like a back and forth offensive game that I think could just come down to whoever makes the first mistake, whether it's an interception, a fumble, um, maybe like a costly kind of 3-and-out or something like that. I don't know. I think it just comes down to whoever blinks first. I think they're going to be well rested. Um, I think the Chiefs will come out hot. I think the Eagles will come out hot. I think they're both going to score, and then I think it's going to come down to whoever makes the first mistake. If it's Mahomes, if it's Hurts, and then the other one's going to make the other pay. And I agree, it'll be a close game. I think it'll be one possession. I really don't see either team kind of running away with this. Philly definitely has the better defense, but the Chiefs are loaded on offense, so that makes for a good game. And that's, I think, what you and me are really looking for at this point is just a good game. And then we'll kind of get into the prop bets to see what makes it a little bit more interesting. But I to just kind of put a bow on it, I think it'll be a good game, and it'll come down to whoever makes that first mistake, and hopefully it's Patrick Mahomes.
So with that said, want to get into our final picks of the week?
Let's do it.
Let's get into our final Super Bowl edition of picks of the week.
Picks of the week.
So for picks of the week, we pick one game from the upcoming week. Obviously, there's only one game left. You've either got the Chiefs or the Eagles. Who are you going with, Danny Football?
I'm going with the Eagles. I'm going to ride with my man Jalen Hurts.
I feel like
Uh,
you've said that the last like 3 weeks.
I'm going to go with the Eagles. My man Jalen Hurts. I always envisioned his first championship would be with the New England Patriots, but just wasn't to be.
Breaking my heart.
Philly took him a little bit earlier than initially expected, so I root for him regardless. He's a great quarterback, and he's going to win this. He's got it.
This actually pains me to say because I do not want. I'm not going to be rooting for them, but I'm just going to go with it because that was my first pick of. It's my first pick of the before the preseason, so I'm going to ride with it. I'm going the Chiefs. I feel like I'm going to throw up.
Reluctantly.
Reluctantly, the Chiefs. Yeah, it's killing me to say that. When we get into the prop bets, you want to look? I didn't realize they announced the finalists for the awards for the end of the season awards. I know we already did our way too early awards for the end of the season, but we'll go. Let's go quick through these finalists. Finalists for MVP. I'm just going to read down the list, and we can go quick. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Justin Jefferson, and Pat Mahomes.
It's going to be Pat Mahomes.
I think it's going to be Pat Mahomes too. Jalen Hurts, if he wins, I won't be too disappointed. But
I'd say it's between Hurts and Mahomes, but I think just because it's Pat Mahomes, it's going to be Pat Mahomes.
yeah, I agree. Defensive player of the year is the finalists are Nick Bosa, Chris Jones, and Micah Parsons. A lot of I'm gonna stick with my pick of Micah Parsons, but a lot of experts are going Nick Bosa.
I think it'll be Bosa. Just off the
Yeah.
top of my head, I think it'll be Bosa.
Uh, offensive player of the year. They got Tyreek, Jalen Hurts, Justin Jefferson, and Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, but a lot of people are picking Justin Jefferson. How can you pick a guy to be offensive player of the year and then pick an offensive
Well,
player to be MVP?
that's
and
always the thing. I feel like they use that offensive player of the year to kind of, give the guy a participation trophy and then they hand the MVP to someone else.
Yeah, I feel like that's silly. Offensive rookie of the year, they got finalists Brock Purdy, Kenneth Walker, and Garrett Wilson. I'm sticking with Kenneth Walker.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he deserves it. Brock Purdy's interesting, but he didn't do it long enough, in my opinion.
No, I didn't think so.
Now, if he played a full season, I would probably say Brock Purdy. But defensive rookie of the year, I think we're both still Sauce Gardner, Aiden Hutchinson, and Woolen from the Seahawks. Like, I'm staying Sauce. Are you
Definitely Sauce. Definitely Sauce. Yeah.
Okay. And comeback play of the year, we got Barkley, McCaffrey, and Geno. I'm sticking Geno.
Yeah. Yeah, Geno. Yeah, I'll go with
He
Geno.
deserves it.
Yeah.
And finally, coach of the year, they got Dayball, McDermott, Peterson, Kyle Shanahan, and Nick Sirianni. I'm gonna stick with Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, I think you have to give it to him too. Just
Made it to the Super Bowl, man.
right.
Took that team from
We keep saying they were, they're not so much an underdog because they were the 1 seed, but they had a hell of a season to get to that 1 seed. So,
they do assistant coach of the year.
do they? I didn't know that.
This one says an assistant coach of the year. AP assistant coach of the year. They had Ben Johnson, the Lions OC, Demeco Ryans, which shout out him. He went to the Texans, got a Texans job. He was the DC of the 49ers, and Shane Steichen, the Eagles offensive coordinator.
Interesting.
I mean, I'd
I'm
with
not,
yeah, I'm not gonna pick that one.
I don't feel like I'm educated enough to throw anything on that.
I guess I'd say the Lions offense, maybe, or Demeco Ryan. I don't know. That one I didn't know it's a actual thing. All right, prop bets. This is my favorite part of the Super Bowl. This is the only thing I'm gonna enjoy. I gotta make sure I run to Twin River Casino. Excuse me, I shouldn't say that. I gotta run to my favorite establishment and play some prop bets down.
Well,
this
now
week.
you can place a live bet in Massachusetts now.
That's right, but I have to go all the way into Boston. I feel like it's easier.
No, you can go to Plainridge, can't you? They don't have a book.
Oh, is Plainridge have a book now?
They should. I thought they got approved for one.
Well, maybe I'll have.
I could be wrong. I could have sworn I saw they were good for one, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I gotta find some sports book and put a couple dollars down. First Gatorade poured on the winning head coach. We got yellow, green / lime is the favorite, orange, blue.
I feel like I always get this one wrong. I'm gonna go orange.
All right, I'm gonna go. I feel like orange is a nice, safe one, but I feel like that's like not a safe one. I think that's like right in the middle. Like, that's the middle odds. I feel like orange is a favorite flavor. I feel like green, yellow, and lime is just always the color Gatorade dumped. I'll ride the odds. I'll go with that. Coin toss, heads or tails?
Tails always.
I'm going heads.
All right.
Devin McCourty said go heads. If gosh darn it, I'm gonna go heads. Who will win the coin toss? Kansas City or Philly? Who's the home team?
Home team is, I think the Eagles are technically the home team.
So they get to choose the coin toss, or is it the Chiefs get the coin toss?
Visitor chooses, so it'll be the Chiefs.
I think I'm gonna go. I think the Chiefs will win the coin toss, but they will elect to kick off. That's what we like to call a parlay bet.
Oh, he's parlaying. Oh my God. I think Chiefs lose. I think Chiefs lose the coin toss. And Philly takes the ball.
So they elect to receive.
Yes, sir.
There's like there's like on this website on FanDuel Sportsbook, they got like 5 prop bets to go with the coin toss. They get who will win the coin toss. We can do our own. We don't have to go off this, but does the coin toss person win the game? Whoever wins the coin toss, do they win the game?
In my world, yes, because I have Philly winning the coin toss.
All right, MVP. Who do you think wins the Super Bowl MVP?
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I really want to say Jalen Hurts, but I feel like since I picked the Chiefs, I got to say Pat Mahomes.
You have to.
I got to say Pat Mahomes. Gosh darn it. National anthem length, 2 minutes, over under.
Do we know who's singing it?
We got Chris Stapleton. I'm going the over.
Chris Stapleton.
Country.
Should I know who that is? Oh, it's a country singer?
Yeah. The guy that sings Tennessee Whiskey. You ever heard that song?
Ah, no, dude, you're losing me now.
I'm losing you. I'm losing you. I'm sorry.
I'm not a country guy. Hold
I'm a
on.
Chris. I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy him.
Let me take a quick look at old Chris here. Chris Stapleton, Tennessee
Got a
Whiskey.
nice big old beard.
How long? Let's see how long Tennessee Whiskey is. It's 4 minutes and 53 seconds. 2 minutes.
Dude, I've said the over the
think
last
he'll-
like 6 years and I've hit it.
I'm gonna go under.
Wow, the under.
I'm gonna go under.
I'm gonna slip Chris a 5 to get it over 2 minutes.
I think he keeps it moving.
Dude, this is the sheet we should use. I like this sheet. Coin toss, we already did. First offensive play call, will it be a pass / sack or a run? Let's say a pass or a run.
Pass.
I think both these teams want to pass the ball, so I think that's a safe thing. I think I'd go with a pass. First team to score. I think the Eagles are the first team to score.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Eagles.
We both picked them to elect to. We both picked them to get the ball first, so I think they're going to score on the first play. First scoring play of the game. Is it going to be a touchdown, a field goal, or a safety?
Field goal. I think it's gonna be a little bit tight to start.
I like the field goal. Jitters. Eagles have some jitters. They get it down the field, but they can't put it down. I like a field goal.
Or the Eagles defense stands up and holds Mahomes to a field goal.
Yeah. Team with the longest touchdown to score the longest touchdown.
That's gonna be the Chiefs. The Chiefs are gonna break one open.
Yeah,
somehow.
they're all like quick speed yak yards. Will there be a field goal over 44.5 yards? I'm gonna say yes.
Yes.
I feel like those are like easy money now. 2-point conversion attempt. I'm gonna go no.
No. I don't think anyone's gonna try it. I don't think anyone's gonna get that crazy.
No, I don't think so either. Either quarterback throws over 300 yards plus. I'm saying yes.
Yes. Both
I think they're both
doing that.
They both may throw over 400 yards. They're it's going to be crazy. Over under total interceptions is 1.5. I'm going under. I don't think there's going to be a lot of picks thrown. I really don't.
Yeah, I'll go under that. I think maybe just one.
Yeah, and that's like a total for the game. I don't see that. Over under 5 total touchdown passes in the game for both teams.
Over.
I'm going to hit the over too. Both teams, that's like a 3-2 split. Well, 5 is close, man. That means they got to get 6. Each team has 3 touchdowns. I guess we both said they're going 20. They're going 30. It's going to be in the 30s.
Yeah.
All right. I'll hit the over too. You convinced me into it. This is a fun one. Over under 4.5 times player wife / girlfriend shown on TV.
Oh, slam the over, dude.
Yeah, I'd hit the over. The amount of times they're going to show Patrick Mahomes' wife or girlfriend is going to be
times.
a million times. Touchdown of 1 or fewer yards. Will there be a touchdown of 1 or fewer yards?
I think
I
there's gonna
don't
be
think so.
I think there'll be a goal line.
Goal line touchdown?
I think there'll be a goal line touchdown.
I'm going to hit the no. I think no. Lineman scores a touchdown. I don't think so.
No,
Team to record the most sacks and takeaways. Who's going to have the most sacks and plus takeaways?
that's gonna
I'm
be
going to
the
say the
Eagles.
Eagles. Yeah, they got too much pass rush and they have the better defense. Oh, this is a good one. This is what I would slam the over on this one. Over under 4.5 times Kelsey brothers are mentioned.
Oh,
Like being bro, not like Kelsey is mentioned, like Travis Kelsey,
right.
or
No,
but mentioned
incessantly.
being brothers. I think it's going to be mentioned for. It says 4.5. I think it may mention. It may hit the over before kickoff. They're gonna mention it the whole entire national anthem pregame. Um, Team to score last. I'll say the Chiefs.
Chiefs, but it's gonna be like a garbage time. We can't win this touchdown.
Yeah, I think they'll score last. I have them winning, but you never know. What will be the first commercial to play out of Doritos and M&Ms?
Doritos will get the first one.
Doritos, yeah, Doritos. I feel like is a favorite in the Super Bowl. They always play some good ones. This one's a Super Bowl halftime show one, so I know you like this one. We talked about the Super Bowl halftime show a lot last year. What will be the first song Rihanna sings? We got
You nailed this last year, right? With the
I
weekend.
I did nail the weekend songs. I was pretty on point with that.
I think she starts with that new song from Black Panther.
Which one?
What's it called? I don't know. I think she starts with "Lift Me Up."
Lift Me Up is plus 700.
Yeah, I think she starts with that. I think she comes right out of the gates with "Lift Me Up."
You know what? I looked at this. They have a big list. They have Don't Stop the Music, Diamonds, What's My Name, Stay, Umbrella. She'll definitely
Um,
sing Umbrella, but I feel like that's
Umbrella.
going to be
Umbrella
later
was gonna be
on.
my other pick.
I feel like that will be like a middle to end
She
song.
either comes out with a classic or she comes out with her newest one.
I think she may sing Diamonds.
That could be a good one.
Like it starts off really like
In my
mysterious
heart,
with
I
a
wanted
little
to come
thing.
out with a shout out to the 2017 Brockton Rocks. I wanted to come out to Desperado.
Desperado. Desperado's not even on here. You could win some. There must be another one. Um, what color will Rihanna's first outfit be? Black, gold, silver, white, green, purple
I think she
slash
comes
pink.
out if she's coming out to lift me up. It's gonna be black.
I think black's gonna be the. I think she's gonna wear black. Um, this isn't here, but who do you think is gonna be? This is just what I'm thinking. How crazy would it be? Who's the other people on the halftime show? Have they announced that?
Not that I know of.
Who's singing with Rihanna? Why don't they should have a list?
Maybe it's just her. Because they did do the whole like 5 artists at once last year.
Yeah. Um, it says you could see Jay-Z, Kanye West, Paul McCartney, Calvin
I'll be
Harris.
shocked if Kanye West is on that stage.
Yeah, I don't think Kanye West is well, because he worked with all of the lights, run this town,
I
four
don't.
or
I
five
don't think.
seconds.
I don't. I don't think. Who has the Super Bowl this year? Fox.
Yeah.
I don't think Fox is letting Kanye West on their TV.
No. Kendrick Lamar is not going to be there because he was already
No, he
there
did that
last
last year.
year. Shakira was on a couple years ago. I don't see him on her being on. I could see Eminem being on. Was he on
He
last
was there
year?
last year.
So he won't be back. I was gonna
They
say I could
burnt.
see
They
Eminem coming
burnt
back.
Eminem, Kendrick, Jay-Z. No, not Jay-Z.
Jay
Snoop,
Z wasn't there.
Dre. They burnt all those guys last year.
I bet Jay Z will be there this year. I could see him doing
Did he do
Umbrella.
anything with Beyonce? I don't even know if he came on when Beyonce did the halftime show.
I can't remember. Imagine they pull out Paul McCartney.
That'd be fucking nuts. Holy shit.
Um, that'd be nuts. I was gonna say Eminem was my like pick to possibly show up, but I think you're right. I don't think he's coming back 2 years in a row.
No, I don't think they're on that twice.
Um, last couple here. Will there be a proposal?
No, Pat Mahomes is already married, so he's good.
Travis Kelsey? Travis Kelsey's not married,
Is he in a relationship?
isn't he? Isn't he in a relationship? I
I
thought he
don't
was.
know. He
Um,
seems like one of those guys that doesn't settle down. I don't know.
not a settle down type of guy.
No.
Super Bowl MVP speech. Who will they thank first? The teammates,
God.
God, city, God. Yeah,
God.
yeah,
Slam God.
yeah. Slant. It's not even the favorite. Teammates is the favorite.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'd
Depends
definitely,
on who wins it,
yeah.
honestly.
So, we got a bunch there, but some great ones there. I love the prop bets. I got to get down there, and I'll text you, Danny Football, with the different prop bets, and we'll see if we can make some money here.
There we go.
But Super Bowl, I can't wait. Halftime show. I love Rihanna, so I can't wait for Rihanna to come out here and put on a show. Last year's halftime show, I
Last
didn't
year's
know
was
what to
solid.
expect. Yeah, I didn't know what to
Last year's
expect, but
was solid.
that was definitely one of my favorites in the past few years. Last few years have been okay, but that one kind of cleared the last few. Uh, Big Lady Gaga fan. Shout out to Lady Gaga Super Bowl
Huge. I
performance.
love Lady Gaga's, man. Loved it.
Uh, anytime she jumps off the top of the dome, I like that gets me
And
going.
completes the catch at the end.
She completes the catch at the end. Speechless performance. Let's step away from football a little bit, which is kind of crazy to say because it is Super Bowl week, but NBA trade deadline's coming up. So let's talk a little basketball here. The guy who loves to kill NBA franchises and sink teams and just leave an absolute dumpster fire in its wake, Kyrie Irving, actually, I think a week after he says, I want to stay in Brooklyn for an extension, which is just right on brand for this guy, requests a trade from the Nets by the deadline. You know, me thinking Kyrie Irving trade, he's probably going to get what he wants. He's going to go to LA. That's probably where he wants to sign in the offseason. You know, wants to play with LeBron, wants to just kiss LeBron's behind. Before I'm sorry, I know I'm off track, but I haven't seen you in a little bit. Real quick, give me your first thing that comes to mind with LeBron James' reaction to not getting the foul call at the end of that Celtics game.
Embarrassing, dude. That was embarrassing.
Isn't that the most embarrassing
That
thing
was
you've ever seen
embarrassing.
in my life?
You know, the whole thing with it being year 20, and that's how you're acting after losing a regular season game, not losing a regular season game, not getting a call in a regular season game against the Boston Celtics when your team is sub 500. Buddy, we got to be better than that. 20 years in the league, and this is what we're doing now. Come on, man. If it was game 7 of the finals, by all means, leave it all on the court. But dude, it is. I think at that point, what was it, late January? Dude, it's late January. Your team sucks. You're not going anywhere. You're seriously gonna complain after getting hacked by Jason Tatum? Come on, that was embarrassing for him.
That's an embarrassing. If one of my kids did that in my basketball team, I would have never played him again.
Still didn't get a T, so that just shows you how much leash he has with the refs.
But apparently, like you said, he doesn't get calls. That's what they were saying. He doesn't get calls. So
that's still crazy to me. We've been watching this guy get calls for 20 years. He doesn't get one call at the end of regulation again in a meaningless regular season game, and the dude is absolutely losing his mind.
Well, I just had to talk to you. I haven't talked to you about that. That was just like absolutely embarrassing.
That was embarrassing.
But Kyrie Irving, another embarrassment. Kyrie Irving is now getting traded to Dallas. I think Brooklyn actually got a pretty decent haul for Kyrie. Like I thought they got more than what I thought they would have got. They get pieces that can help them now, and they also get pieces like picks because they don't have any draft picks, so they get some draft picks in there. I love that the owner didn't trade him, want him to go to LA just out of spite. Like, sorry, you're not going to get what you want, Kyrie.
No, yeah, that's perfect.
And once again, Brooklyn Nets, you did not win the trade. You are in the dumpster
Officially,
fire.
you have officially for at least the 5th time now lost the trade. You have lost this trade 5 times over at this point.
And now he's Dallas. They on the front page of the New York Times. You're their problem now. But now he's in the Dallas, and we'll see if he tears up the Dallas Mavericks franchise.
Yeah, I was looking. I was actually going through all the. I wasn't going through all, but I was searching through our old episodes trying to find it. But I vividly remember you and I talking about how it was only a matter of time before Kyrie completely blew up the Nets. Whether it was while Katie was injured and it was his quote unquote team, which is exactly what happened when Gordon Hayward got hurt here. It was his team. And then you have, Katie comes back and then, the pandemic happens and he chooses not to get vaccinated. That's, again, his choice. That's not something that the NBA kind of screwed him because that was a New York decision, the state of New York decision. So he voluntarily, of his own volition, doesn't get vaccinated. Therefore, he cannot play home games. So he misses all of those home games. Pandemic ends. He comes back. Things seem great. Here come the Nets. If Kevin Durant wore a size smaller shoe, they beat the Bucks in that playoff series, and maybe we're talking about a completely different playoff series, but that's not the case. They lose that to the Bucks. And then they turn around and get swept by the Boston Celtics. So all in all, a complete disaster for the Brooklyn Nets. Again, this is a team that completely sold out with the Boston trade. They give away all the draft picks. We turn that into Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart. We turn that into Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And yet Brooklyn, for some reason, thinks just because they were able to finagle Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving onto their team, that they're suddenly winners of the trade. Like that's not the case. Like there was nothing that you guys did in that trade to facilitate Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving joining your team. The only reason that happened is because Kyrie and Kevin Durant conspired together to form a super team, and they happened to pick your team.
Right.
That being said, they blew up a pretty fun Nets team to make this happen.
They made them get rid of what's his name, Jared Allen, to bring in their friend DeAndre Jordan for like a cup of coffee.
Russell got rid of D'Angelo Russell. So they blew up a pretty fun Nets team to try to go all in. And I mean, hey, that's your decision.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Right. So you blow up a fun team to go all in on KD and Kyrie, and it completely blows up in your face. You win one playoff series. They played. I saw this earlier today. They played 72 games together. Kyrie and Kevin Durant. They played 72 games together.
Not even a full season.
This isn't. We haven't even mentioned the fact that they had James Harden.
Yeah.
They had Ben Simmons. I'm the biggest Ben Simmons doubter of all time. He's not good. And I just saw another report. He has zero trade value in the league right now.
Right.
But again, people, Stan Van Gundy, will consider Ben Simmons this prolific player in the league. He's not. But again, that's just what they say. So you have Kevin Durant, you have Kyrie Irving, you have James Harden, you have Ben Simmons, and yet you have nothing to show for it. You have zero to show for it. You don't even have a finals appearance to show for it. It's a complete disaster. And, to say you can't put all of the blame on Kyrie, but you can put a good amount of it. Because you go back to the Sage at TD Garden, stepping on the logo.
They haven't beat the Celtics since the logo thing.
They beat the Hospital Celtics in that playoff series. And he comes into the playoffs last year, and he just completely unravels. The fans are in his head. The moment is seemingly too big for him. And this is a guy that hit a clutch shot to beat the Golden State Warriors in a finals. And it just looked like this dude shrunk. He's flipping the fans off. He's taunting them. He's doing this. He's doing that. And he gets swept. He doesn't even show up. So it's hard to not put some blame on Kyrie for this entire Nets thing not working. And to make this come full circle, we saw this coming. We knew this wasn't going to work. We knew, all right, they have a window, but that window is going to slam shut as soon as something goes wrong. And evidently, enough went wrong that Kyrie Irving demands a trade out of Brooklyn. So I'll close by saying I don't feel bad for the Nets. They got everything they deserved. They knew what they were getting. They brought in a guy that completely torched his bridge in Boston. They thought this was going to work. It didn't. Kyrie and Durant thought they were going to make their own super team. They did, and it didn't work. So good riddance. And for the Dallas Mavericks to think that this is going to go any different is insane.
Right.
I don't know.
He's done it, and now, I mean, he pretty much sunk the Cavs were already kind of stinking, but he pretty much sunk the Cavs when he left there. If we didn't have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown still on this team, we got very lucky we still had them. But in all intents and purposes, the Celtics look like they were sunk when Kyrie Irving left the Celtics.
If you go back, how many NBA journalists completely wrote us off when Kyrie left?
Yeah.
I could probably think of a couple Stephen A. Smith.
Nick Wright.
Nick Wright. That's exactly who it is. The second Kyrie left, Nick Wright's like, well, they're done. They're not contenders anymore. Yeah. That's it.
What a failure by the Celtics.
Close the book on the Celtics. Who has, I mean, again, we're the Boston Celtics. We care more about championships above anything. But we do have one more finals appearance than you guys have. We have a plethora of conference finals appearances over you guys. Like, we fleeced you in the trade, and now you have nothing to show for taking our best guy. Like, what are we talking about here? The Nets are now a poverty franchise. Welcome back to the pits, guys. I mean, shit.
Yeah. I think they'll be okay because they still have Kevin Durant. If they move off of Kevin Durant, then, I mean...
what is his contract? There's no way he's staying there.
He's got like 5 years.
It's over.
He's got like 4 or 5 years.
What?
KD just re-upped this offseason. He's got 4 years or something like that on his contract.
Woof. Holy shit. Is that true?
He re-upped this last year. I don't know how many years he has. Maybe he doesn't have 5. He probably has like 3 or 4.
Oh, no, you're right. He's not a free agent until 2026. They have to trade him. They're gonna have to trade something out.
And I mean, he'll probably request to be traded. There was a report today that the Celtics were given calls about KD, but I don't.
Wow, I completely missed that he got extended.
Yeah, that was the big story. Debacle. He got extended, and
what an absolute debacle! That's fucking nuts.
So they're locked into KD. They're locked into KD unless they trade him.
I mean, he's gonna demand a trade. There's no way he stays there. To what? Yeah. Play with freaking Spencer Dinwiddie?
Yeah.
Come on. Dude, he'll probably kill Ben Simmons before he plays another game with him. Shit.
He'll definitely tell Ben
I
to just sit out.
I completely forgot that he signed that extension.
Someone mentioned this trade. Let me ask you this. I said no, but it is interesting. If the Celtics got a call and said, hey, we'll give you Nick Claxton and Kevin Durant for Jaylen Brown, are you hanging up the phone immediately? Or are you thinking about it and then declining? Or are you
run that by me one more time?
Kevin Durant for the 4 years. Kevin Durant and Nick Claxton for Jaylen Brown. Are you hanging up the phone immediately? Are you thinking about it? Or are you just saying no?
I'm hanging up the phone. I'm hanging up the phone. That reeks of the Kendrick Perkins trade in 2012, wasn't it? I can't remember. That reeks of the Kendrick Perkins Jeff Green trade. You essentially took away a piece of a team that didn't need to be broken up.
Yeah.
I think that
I said no.
I think that throws the current Celtics team into an absolute flux. I understand the argument. You're getting Kevin Durant now. You're getting Nick Claxton, who you have a little bit of control over. but I think there's a lot to be said about the locker room and the team chemistry, and I think you're opening a whole can of worms if you trade Jaylen Brown like that. So especially after how many times has that been rumored, and how many times
Yeah.
has Jaylen Brown had to answer like, I'm not getting traded, or I don't know, that's under my control. How many times has Brad Stevens had to stand up and say, we're not trading him, we're not doing this, we're not doing
Yeah.
that?
Stephen A. Smith said that today, so I don't
So
buy that.
right,
I think it's
but
a
I
bunch
think
of
that
crap.
that's a huge can of worms for the Boston Celtics to open up by turning right around and trading one of your guys. I don't take that. You pick the phone up and hear what they have to say, but as soon as they say Jaylen Brown, you hang up. But I'd say if you want someone on the main Celtics, you can have them. But outside of that, I'm not giving up much for in terms of blowing this team up.
Now, there's some people that are on the block that I think not Kevin Durant level players, but some like to fill in our rotation. Let me ask you these guys. Would you trade Peyton Pritchard?
Yes.
I feel like you kind of have to because he's already talking about leaving once his
Right. Yeah.
contract is over.
That's kind of what puts me over the top is that it seems like he's going the Terry Rozier route of I want a bigger role, and I just don't know if he's gonna be able to find that on this team.
Yeah, I agree. Excuse me. I would trade I would trade him in a second. Sam Hauser.
Yep.
I feel like his time is kind of already run. I would definitely trade him. Some people are saying Derek White, and I would not trade Derek White. I feel like he's too much of a I feel like he's too much of a rotation guy. The other guy that's like an interesting one is Grant Williams.
No. These are all kind of core pieces that I don't want to mess around with.
I would listen to Grant Williams trades because I feel like his play over the last like few months is not really. It's more of the Grant Williams of 2 years ago, which I was begging the Celtics to trade. I remember saying on this podcast, if I have to see Grant Williams shoot another corner three, I may jump out the window. He's going back to that stuff. If they don't trade him, I'm happy. You know what I mean? I like him, but if it means getting a influential piece on this roster, I think Grant Williams has to be at least thought of. Like if they say you're gonna get like I think the Miami Heat want him. Like if you get a core piece to go from the Miami Heat for Grant Williams, you gotta.
I'll trade Grant Williams for Tyler Hero straight up.
I don't think that will happen, but
Cash it.
cash it. I'll get on that trade. Is there anyone at the deadline that you would want to go after?
Maybe like when's Gallinari supposed to be back?
I'm not sure. They're saying
I don't think it hurts to have another kind of role guy just to kind of pad the roster while we pick up some injuries here. But I'm not really looking to do anything crazy in terms of turning this team on its head or overpaying for someone. So I think you keep it small, whether it's like, I don't know, like another Cornet pickup or something like that. I don't know. I think you just keep it small.
A couple guys that I liked that we've been linked to is I don't know what it would take to get him, but Jay Crowder was one. Like Jay Crowder's been floated around.
All right.
I'm always a fan of getting the band back together. We've made some great songs with Jay Crowder, so I'd be fine to make a few.
What's Marcus
more
Morris
hits.
up to?
Marcus Morris, I would love to see him back. He's actually killing it with the Clippers. He's actually a pretty big player, but I don't think we'll get him. But another guy I would be interested, another band back together, if you will, Kelly Olynyk.
I saw that. I saw there's interest there. So
he fills a hole that we kind of need, which is some big depth. And I think he's a guy that you can put in the rotation right away. Like I think he got scoring off the bench, and he's a solid big man. So I'm a fan of him. And the other guy that I like that we've been linked to that I've only seen once, I saw it today. He's a young guy. Where is he? I wrote it. I tweeted it out today. Jared Vanderbilt.
I have no idea who that is.
He's a young player for the Jazz, I want to say. Um, I think he was one of the people in that Rudy Gobert trade that was on the Timberwolves, and they traded him to the Jazz. I just like him because he's a young piece, adds some depth. He's got some years, I think, of control. I think he'll add, but like the Jay Crowder, some veteran Jay Crowder, Kelly Olynyk type stuff, I don't think it's going to take too much to get him. Especially, Danny's over there, and I'm sure Danny would love to get Peyton Pritchard back because he loves his old players. So um, I wouldn't mind that getting those kind of guys on the team. I feel like I know we've been linked with Jacob Paletti or from the Spurs. I feel like it's going to take a little bit to get him, um, and I'm not willing to give that up. So,
Yeah, that's
um,
fair.
but yeah, I don't think we're going to do anything crazy, like you said. I don't expect us to, you know, go out and shake things up to get Kevin Durant or someone like that. I think something small that, I mean, Wick said, go all in at the deadline, get us a
True, very
championship
true.
team. So, like, I feel like we're gonna, trade some picks, get nasty and get
Oh,
nuts,
trade
and
all the picks. I don't care about picks at this point, but yeah,
yeah,
just leave the core guys alone.
yeah. Like you
If
have
we
some
give
guys that,
if we trade our next 3-year first round picks, see you bye.
yeah, they're gonna be late picks anyway. It doesn't really do us any good. Like they get guys like Justin Jackson who has some salary dump, Peyton Pritchard. Cornette could have some value if you get a better upgrade at the big position from Cornette. I love Cornette. I think he's funny, but I wouldn't mind getting an upgrade there in case Rob, and when Rob inevitably gets hurt.
Right.
Al's older. Blake's playing like once a month. You know what I mean? I like to get someone that I can trust to go out there every day. So we'll have to see. Probably more moves to come. I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Durant gets traded in the next week,
Oh, 100%.
um, because I'm sure he's like extremely mad at Kyrie for telling him to leave Golden State in winning championships to
Right, yeah,
come to
dude. He
Brooklyn.
sold them out.
Sold him out. Uh, but I hope that's a lesson. Nobody else should want to go play with Kyrie Irving.
Never turn your back on Boston, baby.
Nope, nope. But that said, I would take Kevin Durant if he would like to come to Boston
If
I
Kevin
mean,
Durant wants to,
opt out of his deal or
if
buy out of his deal
if
and
if Kevin Durant somehow, if uh, if the Brooklyn Nets want to cut Kevin Durant wants to sign here, I'll pick you up myself, my man.
many times said on this podcast, I will pick you up at Logan myself and
Here we
drop you
go.
off at the Garden. But with that said, let's get into our final segment of the night, the people's topic.
It's the people's topic, baby! People's topic.
So for people's topic, you write on our Instagram and Twitter page at Big Red Zone. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you want us to talk about this week. Up first, Ed says, LOL, the Pro Bowl. Yeah, not big fans on this podcast. I mean, I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's a waste of time.
Just make it like a barbecue.
A
Pick out a game
boys'
for the
weekend.
players and call it a day.
Well, boys' week.
Make it a
boys'
boys'
day.
weekend. There you go.
This one comes from Mrs. Big Red. She says, me. Mrs.
Congrats
Big
on
Red, a new
the
auntie.
third little third. I don't know what is there.
Niece.
Is it another? Well, it's not her third niece, but I guess it's her second niece. Third. What do you call? Is it just third baby in the family? There you
Yeah,
go.
third. She's an auntie for the third time.
She's
I
a
guess.
3-time aunt. There we go. She's a 3-time aunt.
Three-time aunt. I like that. Congrats. Paige. She wrote, big Celtics game on Friday to celebrate my dad's birthday. What should I wear? Jeez, Paige.
I think she's a Garnett jersey. Might as well rock the Garnett jersey.
Big Garnett fans on this podcast. Don't have to tell me
Gotta
twice.
rock that Garnett jersey.
Big fan, big fan. Geez, daily football. When I'm going to Instagram right now, to pick up Joseph_Celia's people's topic. Last week I had to tell the people of how we struggled through that Knicks loss.
My God, dude, that was brutal. Of all the games to end up at, it's the
That
one
was
game we took
definitely not
off.
a good birthday present there.
No, it was not. No, it was not a good game. I mean, it's always fun to go into Boston. We went to Greatest Bar. We had fun, but it would have been nice if the Celtics didn't play down to the next level. But that's just how it goes.
Julius Randle's nasty. Jalen Brunson's really nasty too.
Brunson went off, dude. I did not see that coming.
I
He
didn't see
had
it
the
coming
game of his
either.
life.
And
He had the game of his life.
Julius Randle played really well too. He's a good player.
Yeah.
Last one comes from Joseph_Celia. He writes, biggest loser in the Kyrie trade.
Kyrie. Sorry. I think it's ultimately going to be the Mavericks, man. I think it's ultimately going to be the Mavericks. I don't think they're going to come out of the West. They gave away some picks. They gave away some role players. And Kyrie, I don't think Kyrie's going to stay there. So I think it's the net. I think it's the Mavs. Like, you just kind of not sold the farm, but you gave up some pretty substantial stuff for a rental.
Yeah,
That isn't going to win you an NBA championship.
Yeah, I think they.
If we were looking at the Mavs and like, oh man, they're just one piece away, then I mean, yeah, go all in. Like we were talking about the Celtics, go all in. But I feel like they're more than one piece. They're more than a Kyrie Irving away. So I think that's going to end up being a bad deal for them.
Yeah, and I don't know how it's going to work. I mean, we saw how it worked with James Harden and Kyrie. It didn't work. Like, it's going to be interesting to see Luka and Kyrie on the same team. I just don't think
dominant, man. They're both ball dominant.
I don't see how they work together. I don't think the Mavs. I think this will hurt the Mavs in the long run, especially when. Excuse me. I think this will hurt the Mavs in the long run, especially when he leaves them in free agency. Like I don't see him
that's exactly
staying.
What's going to happen? I don't.
Yeah.
So that's why I think the Mavs this might not look good on them.
I think that's a good one. Joseph_Celia brings up a good one. He says the Lakers. He says, I think the Lakers, I think they're done and won't be getting any better. That's true.
The Lakers championship window has slammed shut, and I couldn't be happier. Slammed shut. It's done. It's over.
They're done. Has LeBron broke the record yet? Because I feel like that's all he's waiting for. It's just like.
Well, he's also waiting for his kid to join the NBA, so he's gonna.
That's true.
He's gonna drag it out for at least that long. But I mean, he has 2 years left on his deal. He's gonna go wherever his son goes, and then the Lakers are stuck with Anthony Davis, who can't play a full season. So they're done. They're done. It's over.
I don't even see Kyrie signing with the Lakers, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know.
So then, all right. So let's say they have a broken Anthony Davis and a Kyrie Irving that is proven to not work. I don't think that wins them a championship either.
No, I don't see them winning a championship with him either. I don't know. I think the Lakers are going to be back to the. I mean, I can't even say back to the dumpster. They are in the dumpster. They won the one championship they have is from the Mickey Mouse Bowl.
COVID.
Yeah, it's like I don't see how they were ever.
They needed literally everything to kind of go their way for that championship. So
yeah, so hard to lose when you're already losing.
They play the Thunder tomorrow.
What's he at for a total? I think he's close. I think
he needs like 38 more or something like that. So he
could
do it in one. He could just do it in one shot.
Who do they play after that? You know, you don't know. It's all right.
I just had it. Shit.
Bucks. They'll want it to be at the Bucks game.
He has 2 shots at home to do it, so he's gonna get it done within 2 games. He'll definitely get it in 2 games.
They definitely want him to do it on the Bucks game. Prime time against Giannis. They'll definitely want him to do it there.
Yeah, I mean the Thunder game is also a TNT game, so.
Oh, okay. So back to back. Why do they keep putting this team on TNT?
They're going to be TNT games.
Why in the
It's
world do
just
they
for the
keep
point chase? I'm assuming.
Oh, that's probably true. I bet
It's a good excuse. It's a good excuse to put LeBron on TNT.
Yeah.
I don't know how many back he is. Let me see. He's jeez, 30. That shouldn't be as hard as I thought it was.
Math's not my subject. I'd be staring at that number for about 30 minutes.
He needs. Oh my god. What is it? It's sub 40. I know that. I don't know what the exact number is, but it's sub 40. He's gonna get it within the 2 games, regardless. It's gonna be on national TV, so he'll get his flowers. So good for him.
Yeah, that's all he wants. I gotta tell you, if 2K is any indication, Bronny James is gonna be nasty. So if the Celtics get a nice little late pick or find a pick in there to get Bronny James, I wouldn't mind having LeBron James Jr. be our starting point guard for the future. So that will do it for People's Topic. Remember, you can write on our Instagram and Twitter pages at Big Red Zone. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you want to talk about. Also, give us a follow. You can also follow us on TikTok at Big Red Zone. Make sure you go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the like button on this video as well as all our other videos. Hit the notification bell so you know when all our videos come out. And as always, please, please, please tell a friend. My thanks to Danny Football on this Super Bowl edition of Big Red Zone. Have a great week, everyone.